Now, in regards to community batteries, the Lower House MP has questioned the absence of relevant records held by Mr Budd, the Minister for Energy's department, as to costing and how these batteries were decided as to what electorates they were to go in. Would it be possible also to take on notice, or if you've got them now, to have a look at all the costings and the decision-making process behind where you decided to put these community batteries, noting in our last conversation that a lot of the batteries were going in the inner city areas where, you know, they're not really needed because you've already got, you know, a lot of energy provided there, as opposed to, say, remote areas that could have done with community areas, community batteries, because they're at the end of the grid. So can we get those details and costings and cost-benefit analysis on those locations for batteries, please?
So my colleague Mr White might be able to help you. I don't know, James, whether you've got anything.
James White, Branch Head Renewables and Distributed Energy. Senator, the locations of the batteries, I think we've discussed this in estimates before and provided a response on notice already, but the locations of the batteries were determined by the government when the government was in opposition before the last election.
So, yes, that's fair enough. That's beside the point. The point is, how did you come to the decision-making process? Did you use the department? Because it seems very odd you'd put batteries in inner city areas and not in outer regional areas where, you know, they're much more remote and further on the edge of the grid. But all I'm asking for are your workings as to how the government's working on as to how they came to those decisions. I'm sure if you've got the records, there's nothing to hide. If you don't have the records, then you can say so now. You don't have the records. This isn't a big issue.
So, Senator, we'll take it on notice in two respects. One, just to reaffirm, so the locations were identified by the then opposition. So that's a really important point to make, and I know you understand that. We've had this discussion before. I'll just restate that. So therefore, there's the considerations that the then opposition undertook to identify those locations are not known to us. What we can do is take on notice what we as a department have done since the government was elected in relation to that implementation of our election commitment.
That's all we want to know, whether or not there's politics involved, that's all, because I know we've been held to account on that in the past.
Authorised G. Rennick, LNP Chermside.